Hey everybody, this is Kevin Bradley. I thought might be a good time, maybe make a little video to explain some of the things that are going on in our market. One of the questions that we're getting constantly is, is now a good time to buy? If you ask somebody, they will typically talk about the high interest rates. They'll talk about, you know, how home values have increased over the last few years, and they don't think it's a good time to buy. And I would maybe make some points to say that it might not be a bad time to buy whatsoever. I just want to share some of those points with you guys. Um, Kind of the first thing is, typically when somebody is gonna be buying, that they're usually coming from a rental type situation. So one question I like to ask people is, when you rent from your landlord, when you're done with your lease, how much money does he give you back of the rent that you paid? Well, you may get your deposit back, but typically landlords aren't sharing that money back with you. Also, like if the landlord sells the home, how much money does he give you when he sells that home? And we all know that answer is to be zero. So basically, renting is 100% interest. So if you think 6% interest rates are high, try giving away every dollar to your landlord. One of the other things that people forget is, we all talk about inflation, and let's be honest, we can all feel it when we go to the grocery store, the gas pump. So the nice thing about when you purchase is you are fixing your housing expense for the next 30 years. If you're going to rent, your landlord most likely is going to increase your rent every year. It's going to change with inflation. Heck, since even the beginning of the pandemic, rental rates in Scott County have increased over 8%. That's actually an annual increase over 8%. So really, you're at a 16% increase at least since the beginning of the pandemic. But if you had owned a house, your rate pretty much stays the same. So that principal and interest portion of your payment, which makes up the vast majority of it, cannot change. The only thing that can really change is your taxes or your insurance. And so taxes don't change all that often. It's not a very popular method for getting elected into office to say, hey, I'm going to increase rates. So that's most likely going to stay put. And then you then have annual increases to your homeowner's insurance, but that's a very negligible amount compared to the rest of your payment. But I know none of us like having the price changed on things, but purchasing is one way to set that, because everybody who's been renting definitely is paying more. Now, the other thing that I want to talk about too is, as far as these interest rates go, is just the equity position. So right now, like the average house in Scott County is about $300,000 purchase price. So the difference, if you were to get a mortgage on that home at 5%, it's the principal and interest portion is about $16.26 a month. If that same house at 6% is $18.16. So basically, that's a difference of about $190 a month more that you're paying under these current interest rates. Because I'm constantly hearing, "Hey, we're going to wait for rates to go down." Well, what if those rates don't go down? And if those rates do go down, you can even refinance. If you're getting an FHA loan, a VA loan, or an RHS loan, they actually have streamlined finance, which makes the process a whole lot easier than a normal refinance. But kind of back to my payment example of that difference, that interest, that 1% interest rate is about $190 on the average home. However, you're paying down over $365 a month in principal. So even though it may be costing you $190 more to do it, you're still putting your net worth is changing $365 a year, and that's just in terms of the payment. The other thing that you're going to be missing out on is the appreciation. Of course, in the last couple of years, we've had appreciation over 15% each year. Historically, appreciation is over 3%. So again, if you're looking at the overall picture, even though you say, hey, I may wait, but in reality, on a historical basis, that same $300,000 house is going to cost you $309,000 next year. So you're at another $750 in equity a month that you would be missing out just by waiting. So you kind of add that to that $175 difference in your payment, and you can see where it may make sense to go ahead and consider purchasing something. Now, I understand every situation is different, and that's where you really need somebody to kind of guide you through that process that understands those numbers. I'd be glad to do that for you. Anybody on our team is more than capable to walk you through that scenario. But again, I figured with all the doom and gloom out there, it may not be a bad idea, just to let you know that, it's not as bad of a time as you might think, and it actually might be a very good time for you to purchase a home. Anyway, if we can help in any way, just let us know. Thank you so much.